Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Legal Nexus. We are going to discuss a very important concept on the law of contract, the contract of agency. An agency is a special kind of relationship where one person called the agent acts on behalf of another person known as the principal. This legal relationship plays a vital role in business, trade and day-to-day dealings as it allows the principal to carry out transaction through the agent. In this video, we'll understand the meaning, nature, essential and significance of the contract of agency with simple examples. The law relating to agency is contained in section 182 to 238 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. When a person appoints another to act on his behalf with the third party, it is called agency. The person who appoints is called principal. The other person who is appointed is called agent. Agency is the legal relationship between an agent and principal to bring the principal into legal relationship with the third party. Cuficit per alium per se. The law of agency is based on the maxim cuficit per alium facit per se. The maxim means what a person does by another does it by self. If a person engages another as his agent to enter into contractual relationship with third party, the contract entered into between the agent and third party will be binding on the principal as if he himself had entered into it. The third party can enforce any contract entered into an agent, an obligation arising from an act done by an agent against the principal as if the contract had been entered into and the act done by the principal in person. Agent and servant. Though a servant and agent are employed by a person to do some work for him, there is difference between them. The difference lies in the authority conferred or delegated to them. A servant is one who is employed to do some work of the master. A servant is completely under the control of the master and no discretionary power is conferred on him. An agent is one who is employed to do some work for and on behalf of the principal. The principal delegates some other agent is a person authority to do any act for another or to represent another in dealings with third party. The person for whom such an act is done or who is represented is called the principal. Essentials of contract of agency. Competency of the parties to enter a contract of agency. Section 183. Who may employ agent? Any person who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject and who is sound mind may employ an agent. Section 184. Who may be an agent? As between the principal and the third party, any person may become an agent, but no person who is not the age of majority and of sound mind can become an agent, so as to be responsible to his principal according to the provision in that behalf therein herein contained. Consideration not required. As per section 185 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, contract of agency requires no consideration. It comes under the category of those contracts which the law has declared to be valid without consideration. However, these provisions do not deprive the agent of his legal and justified remuneration unless proven to be specified otherwise in the contract. Classification of agents. Agents can be classified into these following heads. Special agent. Special agent is one who is appointed to perform a particular act or to represent his principal in some particular transaction, as, for example, an agent employed to sell a house or an agent employed to bid at an auction. General agent. A general agent is one who has authority to do all acts connected with a particular trade, business, or employment. Universal agent. An universal agent is one whose authority to act for the principal is unlimited. Commercial and mercantile agent. According to section 2 clause 9 of the Sales of Goods Act 1913, a mercantile agent means a mercantile agent having in the customary course of business as such agent authority either to sell goods or to consign goods for the purpose of sale, or to buy goods, or to raise money on the security of goods, includes factor mercantile agent, auctioneer, broker, commission agent, decrediting agent. Non-mercantile agents. These includes attorney, solicitors, insurance agents, clearings and forwarding agents and wife, etc., who can employ an agent. By virtue of Section 183 of the Act, any person who has attained the age of majority and who is of sound mind can employ an agent. A lunatic or a minor or a drunken person cannot employ an agent. Who may be an agent? By virtue of Section 184 of the Act, any person may become an agent. An agent is acting for another. He need not to have the capacity to contract. Even a minor or unsound person can act as agent. If a person who is not competent to contract is appointed as agent, the principal is liable to the third party for the acts of the agent. At the same time, the agent is not responsible to the principal. Subagent. The expression subagent is defined under 191 of the Act. It states a subagent is a person employed by and acting under the control of the original agent in the business of the agency. A subagent may be a properly appointed one or an improperly appointed one, where an agent having authority to do so appoints subagent. He knows as the subagent properly appointed, were an agent without authority appointed as subagent, he is called subagent improperly appointed. When the subagent is properly appointed, he can represent the principal as regards third parties. There is no private of contract between the subagent and the principal. The agent would be responsible to the principal for the acts of subagent. In case of fraud or willful wrong, the subagent is also directly responsible to the principal. When the subagent is improperly appointed, the principal is not bound by the acts of subagent. The agent would be responsible to the principal as well as to the third parties. Substitute agent. A co-agent or a substitute agent is a person who is appointed by the agent to act for the principal in business of agency with consent of the principal. Section 194 enacts were an agent holding an express or implied authority to name another person to act for his principal. Just simplify these type of agents as special agent, agent appointed to do a singular specific act, general agent, agent appointed to do all acts relating to a specific job, subagent, an agent appointed by an agent, co-agent, agent together appointed to do an act jointly, factor, an agent who is remunerated by a commission, one who looks like the apparent owner of the things concerned. Apart from those agents, there are many agents more. Broker, an agent whose job is to create a contractual relationship between two parties. Auctioneer, an agent who acts as a seller for the principal in auction. Commission agent, an agent appointed to buy and sell goods for his principal. Deal creditor, an agent who acts as the salesperson, broker, and guarantor for the principal. He guarantees the credit extended to the buyer. With this, we conclude today's discussion. The remaining part of the topic will be explained in the next video, so stay tuned and don't forget to check out the upcoming part for the complete understanding.